welcome back. Do you ever wonder what's behind the doors of the most exclusive restaurants? Well, our very own cuisine correspondent, Maribel Linfield, takes us to Langdon Hall.
Langdon Hall Country House Hotel and Spa was built in 1898, and this magnificent manor was originally, believe it or not, a wedding gift. This 25,000 square foot private summer retreat became, in 1989, a very public, award-winning hotel. Now, Relais & Chateau is actually part of an association that Langdon Hall belongs to, and there's very few actually in the world. There's only 500 in the world, 13 in Canada, but there's only one in our backyard. The history here is fascinating.
It certainly is. We're very lucky to have a property like this. It was a farm, and Mr. Wilkes was a banker from New York, and he took the train and came up to New Berlin, Waterloo, and found this property and thought that he wanted to have a property under the British flag. His wife wanted to be in North America, so this was a perfect opportunity. They bought this property. Their son, Eugene Langdon Wilkes, was getting married at the end of the century, and they gave him 29 acres. He built Langdon Hall on this property and eventually purchased another 140 acres to bring it up to close to 200 acres. So
that's not a bad wedding gift, isn't it?
Not a bad one.
The Langdon Hall experience is far different than anything else in this area. Tell me why.
Langdon Hall is such a wonderful building to start with. It's got terrifically interesting architecture. We've tried to maintain the integrity of the house itself when Mr. Wilkes and Mrs. Wilkes built it. We have a marvelous garden, a vegetable garden and a flower garden. It's quite extensive, our gardens, and we maintain a great interest in it. That's very special and unique for us. A property with this heritage and this community intact, I think, is unique in itself. We're fortunate to be in Cambridge and very close to Toronto in the Waterloo region. On the Grand River, it's just a marvelous area.
As a designer of the menu, what's it like having a garden at your service?
It's amazing. I think it's made all the difference, and I think it inspires you, and it gives you a direction, and it really makes you focus on the ingredients more. I mean, we've done some things just recently with our apple orchard. We're serving langoustine with a orchard apple puree, things like that. And one of the dishes I'll show you today is inspired from our garden as well.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and show us what you have today.
Well, what we're going to do, we're going to start with today is a Lake Huron wild whitefish, but the main focus, in addition to that, is a salsify, and that salsify is native to Central Europe. It's a sweet plant. The Americans call it oyster plant. Spanish also call it scorzonera. And it's just has a beautiful sweet and nutty flavor. And what we've done is prepared it 3 different ways and are serving it with the whitefish and the smoked paprika marmalade.
All right, let's see it.
Okay, so what we start with here we've just cooked this till, what they would say is cook this till fondant. So cook this till it's very soft. A little spritz of this, and this is togarashi. So that gives it a little bite, but it's also, the togarashi also has a tiny bit of citrus in it. And then this is the wild Lake Huron whitefish. And as well, now this is the smoked paprika marmalade, and this is one of the things that we like to use, a lot of the essences we're using now, and I think that's kind of what's making a difference with our cooking, is that these are the big flavor boosters. But you see, essentially this is a vinaigrette, and we call it a marmalade. We developed it along the lines of a vinaigrette, but we call it a marmalade because what we've done is left everything in it. So
yes.
It's a combination of a sauce and almost like a cooked down salsa. And so the second way we're doing the salsify, what we've done is we've caramelized it in a pan, just simply with some olive oil and a touch of salt, and finished it with some continental parsley.
I love caramelized items.
And this, yeah, it's great. That's what it is. It's caramelizing the natural sugars and really brings out the sweetness. Now, as you can, I don't know if you even want to try it, but these, sure, please. It's just, comes out just like a potato chip, and they crisp beautifully. This is very easy to do at home.
Beautiful.
It's so simple, and it's very attractive. And here too, We top it with, this is a baby arugula, which is again another aspect that is grown in our greenhouse here.
A lot of microgreens.
Yeah, and they give a lot of, what they're nice with the microgreens, they give you a good belt of flavor, but it doesn't last. It's not this lasting flavor like a lot of greens do, like romaine or things like that, that it's the only thing you taste for the next half hour. And this last is a foam. Now the foams we started doing because what we do, you can see, it's almost like, it's like a cappuccino.
Yeah.
But the whole idea is we make a flavor base. And we developed that from the old classic sauces. It's a very heavy base. It's cream, it's butter, it's shallots, garlic, wine, and what we use is whatever the main element. That could be oysters, lobster, anything. And here we've used the salsify.
Okay. Well, you guys have a 5-star Relais and Chateau establishment, and you can see why this is 5-star, because the amount of work and thought that goes into this is incredible. It's just beautiful. It's incredibly difficult to try and duplicate this at home. That's why you go out to a Relais Chateau ultimately, isn't it?
Oh, that's right. That's why we're here.
Being at Langdon Hall is a one-of-a-kind experience. In fact, to be part of the Relais Chateau membership, it's very difficult. In fact, first you have to go through a very stringent inspection. And then you're asked to uphold the 5 C's of hospitality. And those are calm, comfort, character, courtesy, and cuisine. And Langdon Hall exemplifies those tremendously. And you can totally appreciate the beautiful prestige this place has to offer. And it's all right here on Grand River Living.